because he called out Rich Froning and CrossFit Mayhem this week.
CrossFit's awesome.
Yo, what is up, you sexy beasts? What is this? What is this little podcast setup, hey? I wanted to start a new segment on the channel, a Monday video recapping everything that happened in the CrossFit space last week. And I just came up with a name last night. It's called About Last Week. How's that, eh? Simple. Nothing cute, you know? There's nothing worse than someone trying to be too cute with a brand name. And yeah, we're just going to keep it simple. So every Monday, here's the thing, right? There are so many CrossFit podcasts and channels out there now. There are so many athletes on social media, and it's hard to keep up with it all. And I know that you guys are hardworking, just hardworking people, trying to provide for your families. You're trying to stay fit and healthy, trying to get to bed early, and your days are full, And I'm lucky enough that for my job, or the nature of my work means that I can watch hours of YouTube videos and podcasts, and I can scroll through athletes' profiles. And so chances are you are probably not able to watch everything that's going on every week in the CrossFit space. And so I thought, why not just make a video that kind of recaps all the main stories from the previous week? And I want your guys' input. If you see anything that's newsworthy, anything that you think should be shared on this show on a Monday, please DM me, email me, text me, send me a letter, do something. But let me know, and I'll feature the story. Because I do miss things. But I'll do my best to just kind of recap the week, and maybe we'll see how long this goes. This is literally my first time. I'm doing it off the cuff, not really that scripted or prepared. And that in itself for me is going to be a challenge. Normally with my other videos, my normal YouTube videos, there's a lot of cutting, a lot of editing. I want to keep this just raw. I want it to be a podcast, an uncut podcast where you just see everything, the raw, real me. So let's crack into it, The very first episode, by the way, if you're an OG viewer of the channel, you might recognize the space. I used to work out of here. This used to be my studio. Lucky for me, my good friend Ty still works out of the space, and he's happy for me to come and use the podcast room. So very nice little studio setup here that we can use for About Last Week, a brand new show on all things CrossFit. So let's crack into it. We're going to start the show with a couple of feel-good stories from last week. I saw this from Mr. Chandler Smith. Let's see, where is he? Here we go. Mr. Chandler Smith. He did his level 1, his CrossFit level 1 cert just last week, and he then posted a video a few days later. It's this video here. Let's have a look at it. If you know anything about Chandler Smith, you know that, the guy is incredibly strong, incredibly strong. But we all know that he doesn't have the best or the cleanest technique, and he probably knows this as well. And I'm sure there's some limitations with mobility and all sorts. So he normally prefers the power versions of these movements. And so this post reads, "Nothing heavy or anything crazy, but after a decade or so of trying to improve my mobility, I'm finally able to catch cleans with more than just my remaining fingers, and I'm pretty pumped about that. I just need another decade to get this competition ready, and then it'll be game over." And I agree. If this guy can sort out his mobility and his technique, before he has to retire one day, he will be very close to being unstoppable, because he's an extremely strong man. And there you go, a full squat clean rather than a power clean, and he's got his fingers tucked under the bar still. So good man. I think that's great for Chandler Smith. So very cool. And then this from Scott Panchik. I reckon Scott Panchik will have to be, I reckon he has got to be one of my top 3 CrossFit Games athletes of all time. Just the nicest dude. I saw this week, and I thought it was pretty cool. He's talking to, I don't know if it's his nephew or his son. I'm not sure who he's talking to, but it's a pretty cool message. So listen to this.
Every day, find one thing that everyone else is not willing to do, but you're willing to do. And if you do that, you'll be successful in whatever you do in life.
I love that. If you're willing to do what everyone else is not willing to do, you'll be successful. I agree. And then one last feel-good story before we get into the main news for this week. Hey, get out of it. The main news for this week is obviously the team quarterfinals weekend just finished. So we'll cover that shortly. Roman Krinikov, I believe it looks like 180 kgs, and he's just repping it out for maybe 9 or 10 reps. But what I love more than the deadlifts is the caption. 16 weeks and everything will change. 16 weeks and everything will change. I love that language, just so confident, he just knows it, that in 16 weeks, his life will be different because he's going to possibly win the CrossFit Games for the first time. So there you go, 3 feel-good stories before we get into a bit of the news. And then after the news, stick around, because after the news, we're going to talk about something that I wasn't sure I wanted to talk about, and that is Mr. Andrew Hiller. If you follow CrossFit on YouTube or on social media, you've probably seen there's a guy on YouTube called Andrew Hiller, and I think they call him the Batman, perhaps, the Batman of CrossFit. And he's got his own little emoji, the bat emoji, and people basically post those bat emojis whenever they see bad movement. So this guy's Andrew's very passionate about sorting out bad or questionable movement within CrossFit. Really passionate about getting people to stick to the standards and stick to the rules and just clean the sport up. So he's definitely attracted a fair amount of attention, both positive and negative, over the last little while. And I thought I'll just give my thoughts. Rich Froning posted, because he called out Rich Froning in CrossFit Mayhem this week, and so Rich Froning posted this photo that's on the screen right here, right now, with the kind of Joker mouth. So anyway, we'll talk about that after we talk about the quarterfinal leaderboard. So let's have a look at the team quarterfinals. And we'll just look at the worldwide to start with. The worldwide rankings, CrossFit Mayhem Freedom at the very top. And obviously we're very excited to see how CrossFit Reykjavik, Annie Thorisdottir's team, will stack up this year. They finished in 12th place. We'll talk about them more shortly. 12th place worldwide, which is actually pretty impressive if you take into consideration the horror show they had on workout number 2. But top 10, we've got CrossFit Mayhem Freedom. Then in 3rd place, we got CrossFit Mayhem Independence. And then in 9th place, we have CrossFit Mayhem Justice. We have 3 CrossFit Mayhem teams in the top 10 worldwide. That is some serious depth. That's unbelievable. And it just speaks to the quality of athletes at that gym. But then CrossFit Invictus, man, very impressed with their placing there in 2nd place. And, one of the guys that we've spoken about on this podcast or on this channel before is Joshua Alkamar. And he's in that team. Yeah, Josh, I think that's how you say his name, Joshua Alkamar. I'm a big fan of him. And he's in that team there. Actually, what did they post this week? He posted something as well. Everyone's just so fired up about the season. Here we go, Josh Alkamar. You see this moment right here? All I want to do is stop and then cut the video, to whenever I'm at his page. But podcast is different, isn't it? Podcast is a bit more like, just chill, man. Just chat. Just chill and chat. Here we go. I saw this post that Josh did. Oh, yeah. Again, just simple, straightforwards. This is our year. And there they are. Team Invictus. Good-looking team. Good-looking team. Okay. But then I want to talk about a couple of teams here. The first one from New Zealand. Let's just get back to the leaderboard here. Team leaderboard. Okay. CrossFit Selwyn in 4th place. A team from little old New Zealand making a big move, big splash. And these are the Fowler brothers. I think it's is it Luke and Ben Fowler? And then Marnie Sykes and Madeline. What's Madeline's surname? Anyway, those guys are beasts. Both those girls, I remember last year when they were part of Plus 6'4 Army, I remember they were really struggling, the tension between going individual and going team, because those girls are both very, very capable of being individual athletes on a semi-final level. And one of the boys, I think both boys were at semi-final. So both the boys in this team are semi-final level athletes. And so, Team CrossFit Selwyn is one to watch, not only in Oceania at the semi-final, but I reckon at the games this year. So very excited to see that team. And then the team that we covered on my last video, CrossFit EXF, in 8th place worldwide. Incredible, first time as a team. So yeah, those are kind of the standout ones for me. Obviously, I'm in Australia, so the Oceania teams and the Oceania news is going to be something that is probably more relevant or more interesting to me. But like I said, more than happy to cover all stories if there's something you would like me to mention or cover. I don't know if we need to really go into much more than that on the team qualifier. Let's have a quick look at each of the continents or each of the regions, starting with Africa. CrossFit Commit Ovango. They won every single workout. First place in all 5 workouts. Unbelievable. So there you go. That's Africa. Asia. KT CrossFit Kolesnikov team. Kolesnikov team. Third, a first. So yeah, very dominant there. Although they only won by 1 point. Okay, Asia and then Europe. So here we go. So Europe, obviously we thought that, CrossFit Reykjavik would win this. But they actually came in 4th place. So a big shout out to these other teams, Oslo, CrossFit Oslo, Navy Blue, CrossFit Zarots Training Culture, and then Nordic Original, and then Reykjavik. Now, you'll see that the Reykjavik won every single workout, but they got a 30th place on workout number 2. And I saw Khan Porter talk to the guys on Talking Elite Fitness podcast, and he was just saying how they were so meticulous on that workout and just overpaced it. They were just too slow. And it's such a long workout that, if you are being too meticulous or, overthinking each movement too much, it just adds up because there's so many rounds, there's so many burpees, so many runs. And so the time can really slip away on you very fast. And yeah, they were pretty slow. That's surprising how slow they were on that one. So you just can't afford to have a 30th place. So obviously those guys are still getting to know each other, still learning. And I'm sure it's just one step on their way to doing great things at the CrossFit Games. So that's Europe, North America. As we mentioned, CrossFit Mayhem Freedom. In fact, the top 3 in North America were also the top 3 worldwide. So Mayhem Freedom, Invictus, and Mayhem Independence. A couple of Canadian teams there in the top 10 as well. And then let's move on to Oceania. As we mentioned CrossFit Selwyn from New Zealand, CrossFit EXF over here from Australia, does in Brisbane, and then Urban Energy. CrossFit Urban Energy is actually that's a team that have it's 2 families. It's 2 husband and wives. It's 2 couples. Both have 2 or 3 kids each, and that's the gym. That's the team that had to pay like $50,000 or something to get back from the games last year. They're the couple, they're the team that had the nanny, and they all had to fly, the kids, the nanny, and the whole team had to fly like business or first class back to Australia, and it was like $50,000 worth of airline tickets. So that's them, and they are a local team here on the Gold Coast, and they're a bunch of legends. So hopefully we can see those guys back at the games again this year. And then last but not least, South America. Who have we got here? Q21 CrossFit from Argentina. There you go. Well and truly the top team in that region. So that's the team quarterfinals. I'm not sure how interested you guys are in that. Obviously the big stories is Mayhem and then, the high profile team over in Iceland. Okay. Let's talk about this thing. Let's talk about this Hillafit thing. Look, I've watched a few of Andrew's videos, and he does a great job at being unemotional. He never attacks the person that he's calling out. He always focuses on the standard or the movement that was being missed, and I think that's cool. I commend him for that. He doesn't get personal as such. No one likes to be called out. Human beings, our first response when someone calls us out is we get defensive, right? And that's very natural, very normal response. And so there's definitely a bit of that, where people are getting a bit defensive. Look, I don't know. Let's say everyone cleans up their movement. Let's say there was no bad movement. There was no missed reps. Everyone always had full extension. Everyone always stood up fully. No one ever missed anything. Then Andrew won't have a channel because that's what Andrew makes his videos about. So I know he says that he wants he wants everything to be cleaned up. But I just wonder what Andrew would make videos about if people did clean up their act. So it's probably in his best interest that things like this keep happening. And the reality is, it's going to keep happening. We're dealing with human beings here. We're not dealing with robots. You're never going to clean up the sport completely. It's just not going to happen. There's always going to be someone. Because when you're moving and when you're doing, look, I'm all for good standards. Absolutely. I'm not saying that anyone should be excused from not doing a completed rep. What I'm saying is that it's never going to end. Like there's not going to be any end to it. So if the goal is to get to 0 bad reps, that's just not going to happen. It's just impossible. Just because we dealing with humans here, and also, when you are doing fitness, when you're hurting, what you think is happening with your body and perhaps what is actually happening are often two different things. And I think it's good, to be aware of that and to look back at your videos and identify that. I just don't know how effective, someone like Andrew's videos, I just don't know how effective that is. I don't know how effective people putting bat emojis everywhere. I don't know if that's actually going to make a difference, or whether it's going to cause more of a divide because of whether it's going to cause more harm than good, if it makes sense. Because people do get offended. And, just yesterday is a great example. Rich posted, his Joker face, which, I'm not sure whether, he's just kind of, I guess, just saying that, hey, Andrew, I saw the video you made of me. And, obviously Mayhem, they're not trying to hide anything. They're obviously posting their videos publicly. And Andrew said this, that, he's not saying that they're trying to cheat or trying to hide anything. He's just trying to point out that they were missing the standards. And I guess Rich was just kind of just owning up and just playing along, playing the game, by doing a little funny post like that. And, some of Rich's teammates, some of the Mayhem athletes got a bit upset and have had a bit of a go at Andrew yesterday. So I guess just that alone to me, like the fact that people are getting upset and the fact that it's causing a bit of tension within the community, I don't know if that is worth what it's actually achieving, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making any sense here, but I'm a bit torn with the old Andrew Hiller and what he's doing. But like I said, I don't feel like he's attacking anyone personally. But I don't know if it's someone's. I don't know how effective it is, and whether we should just leave it up to CrossFit to sort out. I don't think we quite understand. It's so easy to say, CrossFit doesn't care. And that's one thing that Andrew often says in his videos is CrossFit just doesn't care. And I don't think that's the case. I think that's just not true. I think CrossFit cares deeply. It's just a very, very big ship, and to turn a big ship around takes a while. When you look at one video, it's like driving a jet ski. You can turn a jet ski real fast because you're dealing with one video, one movement, one athlete. When you're running a company like CrossFit with thousands of people doing these things, it's not a jet ski that can just turn around real quick. It's a ship, and it's going to take a while to turn it around. But I believe that CrossFit cares, and I believe that every year the process and the system will get better and improve. And I for one think it's better to leave it up to them to sort it out. And if you want to add a bit of pressure and bring some awareness, I just don't know if public. It's not shaming. I just don't know if public addressing from a independent creator like Andrew is the way to go. But look, he can do whatever he wants, and you don't have to watch his videos if you don't want to. And if you get annoyed by the bats, he's obviously got a good following and some people that are on board. And I would suspect that the people that are on board and the people that are taking the time to post the bats are probably people that are very similar to Andrew, right? And so it's like anything. You see all these bats and you think, everyone's in on this, and it's not the case. Like that's, I'm sure he's got his loyal following, or the people that are as passionate about what he's passionate about. It's like, pointing out things that aren't right. And I'm sure, I know it comes from a good place. I can tell that it comes from a good place, that he wants the best for the sport. What I'm saying is that I just feel like the tension that it's causing, I just don't know if it balances out to the good it will do. But let me know your thoughts. If you've watched any of Andrew's videos, or if you saw kind of the drama that unfolded over the last couple of days with Wykie and Andrew calling out CrossFit Mayhem. I just don't know if that whole the drama that is causing, I don't know if that's worth what it's actually achieving, if it's achieving anything at all. Is CrossFit actually listening? Are they ever going to listen? Do they care about the bats? I don't know. So I just thought there was something that was relevant in our sport, and I thought I'll bring it up. No hate towards Andrew. I'm sure he's a great guy, and he's definitely doing something right with the amount of views he's getting on his videos. Whether that is something that's sustainable, and whether that's something that you think is, there's definitely a lot of clickbait involved in the thumbnails and the way he words his titles. And I know the temptation as a creator. I know the temptation to try and get more views on your videos. And I just wonder, long term, what's the plan? What's the goal long term? And maybe Andrew can make a video about that. How's that? Okay, team. That's our first one. Look at that. Our first little podcast. I know that was a bit shaky. I'm going to be more prepared next Monday, and hopefully I get some stories to cover from you guys. But I just want to jump on and have a go. Have a go at the first one. Hopefully you found that somewhat educational and entertaining. And I will see you back next Monday. Please do reach out if you have any stories that comes up between today, so today, Monday, and next Sunday night. Anything that comes up, flick it my way, and we cover it in the what about, or so. Oh, wow. I don't even know the name of my own show. Wow. About last week. It's simple. It's it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I don't want to stop talking. I want to keep practicing, But I think I will go. I think I'll go and edit this little video. It's going to be so easy to edit. Just one take, One take. No cuts. How good. What else can we talk about? Was there any other things that stood out last week in the CrossFit space? I think that was the main stuff. Okay, team. You stay sexy, eh? Stay very sexy. Keep roaring lots and lots of love. And I'll see you in another video soon. I'm thinking, just roughly by the way, I'm thinking Monday, Wednesday, Friday going forwards. Monday will be about next week podcast. This one, Wednesday, maybe a vlog, training, and someone, I don't know. I'm going to go now. Love you guys. Bye.
CrossFit's awesome.